All right, we are live. I figured I'd just do a quick live here tonight. I don't know if anyone's going to be around. It's like 1 in the morning here, almost 1:30 in the morning. So maybe a couple of you guys who are international might be around. Maybe Dane. I don't know if he'll pop on. But, you know, if anyone pops on, we'll hang out real quick, answer any questions. We've got a couple of new knives here that I figured we'd go through just while I'm kind of getting ready for bed here. So let's see if anyone jumps on. We'll give it a minute. I tell you, I've been really loving this one. This is the ZT512. Just put out a video on this one. Out of the new ZT and Kershaw, I think the 512 has it even over this one. Who just jumped on? We got one here. Thanks for the like already. El Cap. Oh, Joe. Hey, how you doing? Dane. Fantastic. Hey, guys. I figured I'd just go live here, do a quick one. You know, it's almost bedtime here, but it's always good to just check in every once in a while. How's everyone doing? A bad connection? We'll see how long it lasts. I'm only able to read the comments on the phone, so I may miss one here or there. So, you know, it is what it is. Got the Axial Knives shift here. And you guys tried the Axial? This is the Zack in the Wild version. I actually wanted this one a while back when they first came out with it. I like the micarta, but they finally did a Tonto version, and I said I had to have that one. I'll say the Axial, the action on this is excellent. And actually, that's a pretty good topic for us to start on. So let me go grab this one. This is the new Microtech Zero Blade Play. And here's a Guardian Tactical Scout 25. So basically, these all have similar actions. You know, you guys are probably pretty familiar with the regular Ultratech action. It's a little sticky. You know, it takes a little bit of force to get it open. And, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with some of the other actions. I don't know if you guys have all had Heretics and some of these other companies. But suffice to say, you know, Microtech started doing something different with the Zero Blade Play. But they were preceded by, not just by Guardian Tactical, but by Hawk. Hawk has different buttons, though. These are side fire. But these buttons on the Guardian Tactical are really easy to actuate. They're super smooth. They use a plate here, and they've got ball bearings on the bottom. That's kind of how they actuate so easily. And in fact, this one is so good as far as actuating that when we were at Blade Show, this was the knife. You can see Blade Show 2024. This knife was actually a knife that I bought my son. So it's his first OTF, not his first knife, but his first OTF, and he's able to actuate it. He had a little bit of trouble. Let me show you one more. All right, he had a little bit of trouble with this one because he also got this one at Blade Show. I had a friend there who had this. He was selling it, and he, you know, donut knife with an 11-year-old is probably something that's going to fascinate them. But this is a regular Ultratech essentially, and you can see the button is a little bit hard to open, although it still does pretty fine, right? This one opens much easier, and he doesn't have any issues at all opening this. And so he really enjoys this one a lot more. I actually just picked up a Scout, so I'm going to give the Scout, the Guardian Tactical Scout, a try. But Axial came on the scene and started doing some interesting things. Now, I don't know exactly what happened between them and Microtech, because obviously they were shut down for a bit with the way they were selling by Microtech, threatening lawsuits or something. I'm curious whether they got wind of Microtech's zero blade play, because here their action kind of uses a frame, and I don't know if you could see it, but it doesn't use a flat plate like the Guardian Tactical. It uses kind of this grooved plate here, and it follows on a track in the groove. I don't know if you can see that, but that track is what it slides along, and it gives it also a very easy action. My finger's a little bit weak on that one, so it's a little bit stiffer than the Guardian Tactical, but it is still way lighter than some of the other ones. And you have some elements of Microtech where you have the button, the actuator button is a little bit similar in how they step it up, whereas the Guardian Tactical, is going to be a lot more rounded off. So that's one of the differences there. And one of the interesting things on the Axial, let me catch up on comments first. Is the Axial really that good? I think they finally proved it's really USA made. So I don't know if they proved it's USA made. I do know that, they've got Zach in the Wild endorsing it. I think NAFS was also endorsing it somewhat at one point because of Zach. So I don't know if they would necessarily endorse it if it wasn't USA made. They claimed to be USA made. I'm not sure if that was what the fight was over with respect to Microtech. They did come on the scene significantly cheaper than Microtech, but I think, after a couple of price hikes, they're not too far off from where Microtech is in the market. So, they could be doing it in the USA. They could have had parts imported elsewhere and then assembled in the USA. I'll try to get clarity from the company at some point, but for right now, I'm going to assume they're USA. They even have USA on the blade here. Not that that tells you anything, but they're really going all out on the USA. Nice design feature is the steel on the spine, right? Magna cut. In any event, the zero blade play is a lot more. It's a lot smoother. So if you guys have had the Gen 3 Combat Trodons or any of those, or the new Scarabs, the newer versions of the Scarabs that really fire nice and easy, this is that same type of upgrade, that same type of system in the Ultratech. And honestly, it's really nice. I think it is a definite upgrade from the old system. You do miss from time to time the nice, being able to really push on this and get a lot of kinetic, energy building up. It's a little bit more satisfying when it shoots out. I will say that. But as easy as it is, you can really go to town on this. Now, one of the things I did notice on this that's different, let's see if I can show this. What do I want to hit it into? Now let's do it in this. All right, ulti-clip. Okay, so generally with a double action, if you hit it into something, it comes off track, right? Safety feature. And the way to get it back on track, pull it out, lock it out, right back on track. I noticed with this one the other day that this one is a little bit different. And I don't know if that's based on the way the system is run, but it actually goes, I noticed number one, it goes in further. So like if you put something here, like a paper towel roll or something, it will go in further. Not just because it has a dagger, I actually compared it against another dagger here. For whatever reason, this actually will penetrate further before coming off track. And then once it's off track, so trying to pull it doesn't actually put it back on track. What puts it back on track is actually letting it fall all the way back down, and then it doesn't come out. Well, sorry, I'm doing this under the camera. There we go. Now it doesn't come out. Didn't have room to operate before. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that it's basically the other way. You let it reset at the bottom, and then, whoops, I need more room. You let it reset at the bottom, and then it comes out again. So kind of an interesting difference between the ZBT and the Axial and some of the other ones. Let's see what we got in the comments here. Zach did a shop tour. Yeah, I figured, you know, Zach, I don't think Zach would get involved. I mean, not that he wouldn't go with a Chinese company or something. He might, but he's pretty transparent. Zach and Ben are both pretty transparent in how they do things, and they usually try to be thorough in how they call things out. So I think if it was not made in the U.S., he probably would say something about it. Always at the end of the day, you got to trust but verify, right? Work colleagues got it for you for your 40th. You never get rid of it. But you did want a bigger one, and there were so many options now. So what is it that you got? The UTX, what is it, the 7? Oh, the UTX 70. Oh, so you got the small UTX. The tiny one. Nice. UTX 75. Yeah, those things are tiny. You know, I always wanted one of the mini Halos. Little tiny ones that are single action. Those are insane. But I couldn't bring myself to get one of the tiny ones. It is pretty cool, and if it was a gift, I would for sure keep it. Yeah, it's badass. All right, so that's a little bit about the OTFs here. One thing I will mention, by the way, the Microtechs, as always, came super sharp. The Axial did not come sharp, and actually needs somewhat of a sharpening. So I've been cutting down some boxes with it, but it's been tearing boxes as it cuts. So it obviously didn't come too sharp out of the box. It seems like there were some sharper parts than others. I think it was about sharper right here, and a little bit less sharp about right here. So yeah, Axial's got to work on how sharp these things are coming out of the shop. Other than that, this is a very, very nice entry, and honestly is one of my favorite OTFs for carry. In fact, I think I prefer carrying this to an Ultratech. Just needs to get sharp. The Guardian Tactical, this one's a little small. This is my son's, but I really do enjoy the Guardian Tactical as well. I used to have a 035 and a 040. I think I preferred the 035. The 040 was just a little blocky, even though I like the size. And I'm curious to try the Scout. Can't wait to try the Scout. Let's see. What do you guys want to see tonight? By the way, everyone wish Joe a speedy recovery. Joe's going, through a little medical issue. Wish him a speedy recovery. We love Joe, longtime supporter of the channel. All right. You guys want to see something specific? If not, I'll show up the new Civivi. All right. Have any of you guys seen this one? So this is the Civivi Merit. And this is a really interesting knife as well. Civivi has a couple of knives that are pretty interesting to start the year. Obviously, I'm of the very strong opinion that ZT came out the gate swinging, and that Kershaw also came out with a knife here that could sell really well the rest of the year at the price point, button lock and all that. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest button lock fan, but this just feels really good in hand, and I think we'll compete with the Pyrite favorably. Honestly, I think it's better than Pyrite. I'll say it straight out, better than Pyrite. And the Merit here is an interesting knife because it's a full-size knife. Okay, and if you were gonna put this somewhere in the rotation, I would say I would rather have this knife than the Praxis. And the Praxis has long been one of my favorite knives. I think this replaces, in my Civivi lineup, both the Praxis and the, what's the other one? The Praxis and the, I don't know if it replaces the Brazen, because the Brazen has the Tonto tip. But yeah, this definitely replaces the Praxis. So one of the things that's really good about this is that this is a really thin grind. I don't know if you guys can appreciate how thin this is. I believe this is 90 thou. So it's 90 thou, comes down to a really nice edge here. Now, Civivi is usually great with how sharp their knives are. I will say this came a little less sharp than I want from the factory, but, you know, some quick tune-up, and it was totally fine, and eating cardboard like nobody's business. Just retested an Infidel. Yeah, I think they do have a merit with purple scales. I ended up getting the white one because I like one of my favorite Civivi configurations is the Snex here. Praxis is a drywall knife. So, yeah, I mean, this one could be your new drywall knife. Nice and thin, slicey. Probably with the blade shape and blade geometry, it might be a little bit easier to sharpen, quicker to sharpen than the Praxis. It'll get through it pretty quick. Doesn't feel like it's too thin. This one, Randy, this is the Civivi Merit. Comes in a couple different colors. New release, I think, for 2025. Can't complain too much for Civivi. Would like to see a recessed clip here. Although all these knives, I'm not seeing recessed clips. You know, I mean, this is 3 times the price of this, and they still don't have a recessed clip. You know, this is, what else? Yeah, no recessed clip on this one either. Not sure why these knife companies all hate the recessed clip, but you have the nice fold-over clip on the Kindred. Hit that like button. Thank you, Dane. Appreciate it. Helps the channel for sure. Trying to get back into some of these. By the way, speaking of Civivi and we have the original Banter here and the Bougie Banter. And you guys picked this one up yet? So the Bougie Banter is the 4th knife in the first month of the year that is already one of the best knives, you know, of the year that I could see at least holding out for 6 months as a contender for knife of the year. I don't know how many of these knives will be there, you know, after a full 12 months, but this one, the Bougie Banter, the 512, the ZT 512 Auto, the 0044, and the Kindred, I think are all knives that are going to be in that top for at least 6 months. Yeah, they really did blow it, Joe, with not having the recessed clip. I don't really get it. At least on the Bougie Banter, they have a milled clip. Milled clip works pretty well on here. Actually, the Bougie Banter is really interesting because if you see, for like a little over 200 bucks, oops, I'm hitting the camera, you get all this styling, which is great for grip. It is recessed, right? You get this back spacer, which is like it's almost like an Art Deco type of thing, right? You get the milled clip. Really great crossbar lock here. Well executed crossbar lock. And just a really good size knife. You know, this is a little thick for the size knife, a little chunky, although the nice high grind on it does make it great for cutting tests. This makes it a little bit more EDC friendly in your pocket. You really don't notice that this is there. Comes in 2 colors, I believe. And yeah, this is for 200, a little over $200. This is one of the best values on the market at its release. No question. Like, for sure, even though I like this one better, just because that's more my style, this is the better value. No question. Ron's got the Peña Mula in red carbon fiber and Devo Mash and Tiger Stripe scales, Asher Spiro Warncliffe in silver carbon fiber, titanium pry bar key set. Great setup. I had 3 knives too today. So man after my own heart. So I've been carrying 3 recently because I just can't put stuff down. What's everyone else carrying? Oh, these are the knife models. Let's see. No, I mean they look like chevrons, and I don't think they have that many models. Who knows? In hand, 0 knives today. They're upstairs. I can't walk upstairs for a bit. We got to get you moving. Yeah, my carry today was fixed blade. So I was carrying one of Dane's, this Spyderco Mule S45 VN with these beautiful burl what do you call that? Acrylic filled in handles here with the wood burl. Beautiful, beautiful work by Dane. You need handles made, put on any knife, get it over to Dane. He'll give you a good price. And my man does excellent work. All right, let's see what's next. You got the Spyderco Stretch 2XL and Legion Steel Asgare. I don't know what the Legion Steel Asgare is. I'll have to look that one up. But since you have the Spyder Stretch 2XL, I'm going to get one of mine. That sound of thunder is preparing you for the knives to come. So this is the Nishijin Stretch 2. This thing is crazy, crazy sick. It's like got this really reflective glass on here with this blue. It's almost like the tread you'd see on metal or something. Metal plates. And then you got the VG10 Core Damascus. Show the sheath for the fixie. There you go. So Dane makes the sheath too. As you can see, a little bit well used, but works extremely well. Retains it. I wouldn't have it upside down going crazy, but it retains it enough. You want to see integrals. You have come to the right place, my friend. Let me see if I will bring out probably 8 or 9 integrals. Let's go do that. Since we're already with the Spyderco, integral number 1. Let's see, where do I have all my integrals? All right, I will grab a bunch of them. All right, I grabbed a few. I've got more, but let's start with these. Actually, I know where one more is. Okay. Integrals. Here are some production integrals that are currently available. And let's go with these four to start. Okay. So one of the big differences between integrals is that, and I like integrals, that's why I have a bunch of them. One of the big differences is that you really feel, the feel of the knife is different when you open the knife. It really gives you a thunk, and it resonates throughout the whole handle rather than it resonating, I guess, through the screws on the back. Because if you got screw construction, you know, it's going to resonate through the steel liners, through the screws, and all the different pieces will kind of dissipate the vibrations a little bit. Whereas in an integral, you really get the vibration throughout the entire piece, and it just really gives it a nice hand feel. So this one's the CKF Persian, as you can see, Rosenti design, and yeah, this one also has a nice hollow grind here. Very cool Persian grind on this. It's got that, like I said, nice integral construction. Beautiful action on a CKF. There's that one. This is the We Solid integral construction. This is a GTC Sakini design. He does the SLT, which is the, what do they call it? Something tab. So, I don't know, something tab. Spring-loaded tab, that's what it is, spring-loaded tab. So it has a spring on it, you pull it back, and then it sort of forces out the rest of the knife. This has a nice compound grind on it, which I really love. And then the SLT settles in over here and becomes part of the knife instead of hanging out the side. But this gives a really nice action. This is actually one of my favorite affordable integrals. And yes, you know, $400 or $500 isn't the most affordable thing, but you know, this is one of my knife. I think this is on the Knife of the Year list in 2023. And this was really, really nice. If you like a big knife, this gives you a couple options on the blade. It's a little weird looking, but it feels great in hand. It's a lot of titanium, so it just feels nice, and you just get that nice integral look and thwack when it opens. And the fact that it hides most of the blade, I think, is a nice added feature. See if I catch up on the comments while I'm looking. Yeah, okay. So this one is an interesting one. This one took some time for me to love. When I first got it, it's a little chunky. The new ones are a lot less chunky, and I think the new ones, unless you get the really high-end ones, are not integrals. I think they're sandwich construction. For the regular autos, this is the Wraith version 3. Now they have the version 4. They do have the full integral ones, but those are the upgraded ones that cost like $2-3 grand and up. So, but these are, I don't think I've seen too many of the full integral ones in the V4 at that $600-700 price range that this was at when you had the V3s. So, but this took a little bit to get used to because it's so chunky. I will say that once I did get used to it, it really just it has such a nice feel because of the chunk and that thick blade coming out, and then feeling that throughout the integral here. I like the lines. It's a little bit something different that a lot of integrals don't necessarily offer. The grip is a little weird on this. I wouldn't say this is the most comfortable grip. As you can see, my hand kind of falls right here, which isn't the best. But overall, it's a great knife, and it'll get the job done for sure. It comes in auto and manual. I would recommend the manual. I have, held the auto, and, the auto's fine, but I think to really enjoy this type of knife, you need to be able to actuate it and cause the flip out to give you the feedback you want. The Paisan, full integral here. Make sure you get one of the CQI ones if you get one. This one has a very big blade, so again, gives you a little bit of a different feel because the blade is so big compared to the rest of the handle. I've got the aftermarket clip on here. I think the regular clip is garbage, especially at this price point. So, but Tai Chung does a great job on this. This like, I don't know what you call it. It's like a wash. It's like a stone wash mirror finish, I guess is what you would call it. But they do a great job on that, and their titanium is really good. Their fit and finish is generally very good. Once you got past the lock stick issues from the regular non-CQI version, I think this is really an excellent knife. Not a long-term hard use knife, but just one of those knives that I'm just really happy I have in my collection. And then a couple of favorites here. So I've got my Anthem. I'm a big Benchmade guy. So we've got the Anthem as an integral. Gives it a way different feel than any regular 940 or a regular Axis lock design. Just a classic knife. Seems to be going up, and was underappreciated when it was first released, and now everyone wants to get their hands on them. The ProTech Integrity. This is the one that was released at Blade Show when it was announced. I have two of these. This is stainless steel. This one, I thought it was integral construction. It is not. It's just stainless steel. But because it's heavy, it feels like the integral construction. So the stainless steel ones are a little heavier. So yeah, this is sandwich construction. But I'll show this off anyway. This is a Mike Irie hand ground blade, compound grind on it. He does those mirror grinds. Really, really nice. And then, of course, this is a manual. Back to the integrals. Here we go. This is another Recenti. This is a Snafu 3.5. Really nice pattern on the Damascus here. Compound grind. The clip is just kind of plain and straight, but it works. Really like the finish on here. I forget what he calls this, like cracked earth or something. But cracked earth with the Damascus looks fantastic, I have to say. And when this one settles back in, the detent settles in pretty hard, and you get like a ring throughout the entire thing because of that integral construction and the vibration. So there's just other things that, just being an integral gives you with hand feel that you don't get with a lot of other knives. All right, do I consider the Kaiser Brat a gateway integral? Or G10 integrals still integrals in my view? I mean, they're integrals. I haven't had a G10 integral, so I don't know if it's just something that is fits the definition or if it really has the feel of something like that. Let me grab something that might help explain. 1 second. So I'm going to discuss this with everyone's favorite OTF, the Benchmade Shootout. This, of course, is not an integral, and it is made of CF Elite, which is basically carbon fiber instead of glass-filled nylon. But so it's plastic. But my point is that this wraparound construction it has, and and the feedback and vibrations you get from it, are definitely different than what you would get from an OTF. They're definitely different. But do they feel anything like the same? No. It feels completely different, to the point that, I don't even consider them necessarily in the same category, other than that the mechanism is both out the front. So that's my 2 cents on that. I would like to try them, though. I haven't had those G10 integrals. Yeah, the Mike Irie grinds are really good. I had a Reese Weiland grind on a Guardian Tactical also. That was also fantastic. Kind of regret getting rid of that one, but, it's one of those things that I can always probably get one again in the future. The market on Guardian Tacticals is kind of soft. You can get a $600 knife, and you could probably buy it for $400. I just actually got one. That's a Damascus one that's coming. That's the Scout. It was a $600 knife, got it for $400. And then I noticed that, there were some people selling Recon 040s, which they were having trouble selling. $300 plus knife at, $180, there were still no takers. I think they're like $330 or $340 originally. So tough market, but you can get some really good deals on that stuff right now if you can get into it. You have the Vera Mini Isotope and the James Brand Barnes. I have always wanted to check out the Barnes. I keep missing when somebody posts a good deal. I don't want to pay the James Brand tax to buy a new one. I would really like to find someone who has already paid the James Brand tax, and then I can get one for myself, at a reasonable price. But yes, I've heard from many people that it's designed very well. The integral is an excellent integral on that James Brand. And if somebody asked me, should you go get it? I would say don't hesitate to get it. Only hesitation would be what else is available at the price that they are. But yeah, let's bring this one back on. Do I have a Nirvana? I do not have a Nirvana. I have a friend who has a Nirvana. I tried to get him to sell it to me. He has no interest in parting with it. The truth is that at this point, the Spyderco Nirvanas are so expensive. You can find a good deal on a custom Nirvana from Recenti, probably not much more than what the Spydercos are going to cost you. So I wouldn't even, unless I happen to find like a $500 or $600 Nirvana, just pure luck, I would probably try to get a Nirvana in the $1,400 range, because you're going to pay $900 anyway for essentially a production knife. You may as well spend a few more hundred and get a nice custom. Just sell a knife that you've made up your $500. You like the Benchmade Anthem? Yeah, this is such a nice knife. I actually just bought a second one of these. I found one. I had a I had someone pick up some knives for me, and he was selling one of his Anthems, and I said, throw in the Anthem for a good price, and he hooked it up a little bit, and so I've got one. I will finally have one that I can carry, because this one stays in the safe, and, just having one that I can carry is going to be a game changer, because this is one of my favorite knives of all time. Let's see. And you guys fixed blade guys, having a lot of recent carry with this one. This is the Vehement Knives Foreman. Now the interesting thing about the Vehement Knives Foreman is, and a couple of you guys might know, so I like the Nightwatch Knives Black Falcon. One of my favorite EDC fixed blades. Absolutely one of my favorite. Great in hand, simple design, nice hollow grind. The war wash is freaking awesome. But I will say this. Jenna makes the best sheaths. And Matt makes amazing knives. And even though this is a little bit flat slab, you know, and I generally prefer something a little bit more contoured, this actually fits really well in hand. I threw a little lanyard on it. It makes it easy to retrieve from the sheath. And the sheath is just excellent. The sheath is so good, it makes this knife a pleasure to carry. You see the sheath on this one. So the stock sheath on this one is good, but it's just a regular sheath. You know, I would say the sheath here is like a 6 or a 6.5 or 7 or something. You know, and this is like a 9. Right? So having the right sheath makes a lot of the difference because it makes in and out really easy, holds it in place, doesn't rattle around. You don't have much issues. You don't have to worry about, like, you know, the back of here is not, you know, in the best condition. You know, I like how on here they take care of the back of the leather, right? Plus, you can see, I mean, if you're wearing something dark, this is pretty flashy. Anyway. Let's see. Did you guys say what you're carrying today? I guess there's not so many people here, so or you guys are super quiet. I'm going to talk for a minute. I've been recording my top 10 knives for 2024. A little late. We're going to have it in 2025, second month of 2025. It happens. But I'll give you guys a sneak peek of some of them. So this is one that I didn't expect, actually. And frankly, 2024 was kind of the year of the crossbar lock. So my son found this one at Blade Show. It's not quite a bug out clone. If it was, I wouldn't necessarily be interested in showing it on the channel. But it's close enough, you know, and there's a lot of other companies that are doing their versions of the bug outs, and there are some enough design elements here that I don't feel like this is a bug out clone. My main concern is SRM is a company that does do clones. So, however, I was speaking to them. They seem to be branching out into their own line of knives, and they're trying to get away from some of the clones. So that's fine, and I want to encourage that. But this is actually a really good knife. Really good knife. I think this thing was $70 or something. Crossbar lock, micarta scales, cool, you know, cool steel with a hamon. I think the steel on this was, if I remember, you know, I don't remember the steel, but it was an upgraded enough steel that I felt like I was getting a deal. But you know, you have these are glow in the dark right here. These buttons. Stay ready for more, SRM, right? So they're sort of rebranding a little bit, and you've got this folded over construction. That's like a screwless construction as a new way of doing things. Screws here, but there's no rods, essentially. So you're just screwing straight into this integral metal backspacer here, right? And then the cool thing, other than the fact that they did a great job sharpening this and everything, is they were the first one where I saw this style clip. You know, I know there's a couple of companies that are doing this style clip now, but this was the first company I saw actually doing this style of clip. And I think it was proprietary to them, but since they're an OEM for in China as well, I think that they are one of the people that started it, and therefore they sort of license it out or let people they're making knives for use it. But it makes one-handed, no screw, you know, swapping left and right really easy on the pocket clip. So really cool concept, really cool idea, very nice action on this. Just a great all-around knife. Very, very nice. Did I give away too much of these? You said technically an integral. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's integral construction on just the top here, but it's not integral construction throughout. Yeah. But like I said, it's kind of like the year of the crossbar lock. It was 2024. Obviously, you know, you had all the Walmart knives. Now, sucky. Okay. Little bit sucky, but fine. Worth $10 for sure. Not worth $5. So, a lot of people think these are the same knives. They're not the same knives. It's not the same knife, different color. You can see the design is a little bit different, and the way, you know, the frame comes out here is also a little different. The shape is slightly different. The bigger issue, though, is this is full liners, and this is partial liners. And the partial liners are trash on these. And then this is a garbage steel, and this is D2. Now, the D2 has gotten some inconsistent results on the heat treat, according to Outdoors 55. Mine didn't come particularly sharp. I think I showed you guys. But I didn't try sharpening this one down yet. I got another one. I was going to sharpen both down and see if I can get underneath the, you know, steel that may have been scorched off and see if it's any better. I'm willing to keep an open mind on this. You know, for $10, I do think this is a good deal and definitely worth picking up. This one, stop picking this up. Stop it. This is $5 more. Anyway, that's that one. One I wanted to show you. I'm not going to tell you where I put this, but since you guys are tuned in, this is one of my top 3 knives of the year for 2024. This is the Real Steel Parix Ostapel design. This is an integral steel on the back. Real Steel is doing a lot of these integral style things. What that means is it's got 2 screws because you've got this integral construction the rest of the way. As a result, it's a little weighty, but not too much. Scales are titanium. The steel on here is Nitro V, so very good steel. The hand feel on this is excellent. And one of the reasons that this is that I really think that this is such a contender is this. Honestly, this is everything I wish this was. Okay, the action on this is better than this. This one doesn't have any fitment issues. This one is fine, but the Tonto version of this had a design issue, if you remember. And I don't know if they fixed it on the Tonto version, but your finger could catch really easily, you know, coming over here. Here, pocket clip, recessed with the job on it, kind of a meh, right? Here, pocket clip goes in the back here. Really nicely done. Wire clip goes all the way for a nice deep carry. And you get this really nice clack because of the integral construction. So it sort of gives you that integral feel, even though it's not full titanium integral. It's just a little bit better, I think. Now this is a little bit lighter. The steel is a little bit better because this is, I think this is MagnaCut. Yeah, this is MagnaCut. You get a little bit of milling on the scales. Honestly, you probably need the milling on the scales because the grip on this is just okay. Because of the design on this one, you don't even need the milling on the scales because the jimping here locks you in, and so does the two sets of finger grooves. Locks you in pretty well. Yeah, these are both good, but this is, I think, $340 or something like that, and this is $95. So you can literally buy 3.5 of these for the price of that. That's why it's in the top 3. Oh, also, I bought it at a time of year where I was able to get them to throw in a bunch of free prizes also. Like swag, but good swag. Like a knife roll and some other things. Let's see. Is the FM1 on my list? You know the FM1 is on my list. I've been talking nonstop about the FM1 since Blade Show. You absolutely know it's on my list. The FM1 from Cold Steel is, well, I got some gunk on there. See, I use my knives. This is such a good knife. I am so floored this didn't take off and just be like, you know, the talk of the town the entire year. It feels great in hand despite the thin. See, like the Benchmade Narrows was thin, but it filled the hand, but it didn't feel great. This feels great in hand despite being thin. And you know, you get tiny amount of space in between there's a guard, which I like. A little bit of space here. There's a full choil that gives you, you know, a good spot to sharpen on. And then just a really useful blade shape with a high grind that comes down to a thin edge. I mean, what is not to like here? It just takes a little getting used to with that Axis lock or the Atlas lock, because it's down here and you kind of expect it to be up here. But once you get used to it, totally. I mean, this thing is a beast. Love this thing. So you guys can guess which ones are 1 and 2. But you've got numbers 1 and 2 right there. Got a couple surprise ones that'll be on the list. Who knows what this is? Yeah, the FM1 is really good looking. El Cap, was the FM1 worth it? I'm glad you picked one up. Let me grab another knife while we're looking at that one. Yes, it's a great knife, of course. Awesome. You know what? Cold Steel does need to come out with a larger one. If Cold Steel can come out with a larger, I think they just brought back the Recon 1 XL, and they also brought back the Colossus. They had a couple ones that they brought back that were all large knives. They really could just do it. They could give us a large FM1 XL. I wanted to show you guys these. So, because it reminds me a lot of the Menandi. And I forget what this is called. I think it's the Opportunist from Benchmade. It's old school, right? So this is too thick, really, to be like to compete as the ultimate suit knife, which is kind of what you're shooting for with the Menandi. So it's a little bit thick for that. But there's a reason it's thick. It does have a really nice action and also flicks great. Honestly, it flicks way better than the Menandi does. So if you like the middle finger flick, this one definitely does. The grip on this is a 3-finger grip with your 4th finger falling back here. Totally fine. Works very, very well. But it's a double action, dual action. That's why it's so thick. So move this scale this way. Boom. Now you've got a double action Menandi, basically. So this is the Tuque Knives. It's Eric Tuque. What is this? The Tuque Knives. I forgot the name of it. It's like the Switch, something like that. If you know the name, drop the name. It's Tuque Knives. Why am I forgetting the name? This one's in Magna Cut. I like the little detail on here of the father and son because it's a father and son company. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a father and son company, knife makers. I think that's so cool. But this would be a nice one to maybe get a little lasering done on here. That's kind of what I was going to do. I like these dual actions. It's magic. I do have the ProTech Magic. Let's see. That's all I'll show you from the top 10 for now. What do you guys want to see? We'll do one more round of requests if you guys want to see anything, and then we'll do a little giveaway. Anybody want to see anything? Nobody asked, but I wanted to show off a crazy one real quick. This is a Jason Guthrie Scout, Warncliffe, Dragon Skin Damascus, and Timascus. I think they just called them Okutai back in the day. Kind of a cool setup. Recent slip joints acquisitions. Let me see. The answer is yes, but I don't have a lot of them with me. So I don't keep most of my slip joints right here with me. So I can show you the slip joints, but not tonight. I've got 2 with me that are slip joints. One is kind of probably one that's, you know, that wasn't that popular, Kershaw Federalist. Kind of a weak pull. Does have a half stop. But it's a nice and slicey blade. Pretty good price here. American made, CPM 154, micarta scales. These are on closeout, I think, at most places now, so you can get a really good deal on these. The model just didn't take off. I've got a Benchmade proper here also somewhere, but I can't find that. But I have this. And this is my carry that I like to do. Oh, there we go. This is my carry that I like to do with, it's a GEC forget which model this is. Bullhide Carver. So I like the Bullhide Carver because it has a nice Wharncliffe blade. This is a Redland micarta, I think. So this is the one I carry the most as far as slip joints. But I really like an awl. You can use an awl for pretty much anything. Anytime you need to carve out something, I use it for, I've been losing a little bit of weight recently, so anytime I need a new notch on the belt, if I need to clean out kids' shoes or anything, this is good for that. You can use it as long as you're careful not to cut things, to get knots out, kind of like a marlin spike. So, I mean, overall, I think that is one of the most useful tools that you can get separately on a slip joint. And this definitely has that GEC pull on it, the pull weight. This is just an excellent all-around knife. I love this thing. This slip is awesome. It's Chrome XL leather from Rowock. Absolutely love it. And you see the waxes sort of form on these when you slide the knife in and move it around. So that is the slip joints that I have here with me. I have not tried the American Blade Works Slippy. I see it keeps selling out, so I keep missing it. It does look pretty good. I have an American Blade Works Model 2, and I do like it. Although I will say that it doesn't quite stand up to some of the other, like for instance, I'll just grab it. I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. But the Waypoint, for example, is a much better knife than the American Blade Works. Maybe that's not fair because even though it's in the same price range, it is made in China. Fine, this is one that's made in America. You can get these depending on what version you get. This is the Holt Morpheus. On the secondary, I saw one go for $400 the other day. Crying shame. But this is an excellent knife. These are not going cheap. This is the SPK Lamia, and these are definitely not going cheap. This is the Rask. The point is that type of milled titanium. Another one I'll say is a TRM Atom, right? So the Atom is also a better knife than the Model 2 from American Blade Works, but I do like the knife overall. There's just some other better options around. Yeah, the market sucks. I saw a hold for 400. Now, I went and offered somebody the same 400 for another one that was on the market after I missed that one, and no dice. So I think that was just a one-time thing. All right, let's see what we want to give away. You do a live State of the Collection show. Yeah, that would be, I have, you ready for an 8-hour live? Is that what, you guys need an 8-hour live? I have a lot of knives. Oh, the Click, that's right. The Took Knives was the Click. Okay. All right, let's look at what we want to do for giveaway. I'll do your choice of the Real Steel Carly or the Walmart knife here, the Swiss Tech. I figured I'd try a lot of the Walmart knives. This Swiss Tech is interesting. Definitely doesn't operate like every flipper axis lock that I've had. It operates very differently. This one is nice and thin. That Carly. But this is also thin. This is all aluminum construction. And there's barely any liner in here. I think there's liner on one side. I'd have to look inside. I think it's only on one side. All right, so let's see. How's this going to work? You'll be there 8 hours? You know what? Hell, I'll have to get it all together. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. I got to document it for insurance purposes, I guess. All right, so let's see what we're doing here with these. I will think of a number between 1... No, screw that. Number between 2,000 and 5,000. The closest without going over. Okay, and don't start yet. I'll tell you when to start. Is everyone here? We got 7 people. You got pretty good odds. 8 people. All right, let's go. Number between 2,000 and 5,000. One guess. Closest without going over. I got 3 guesses so far. Just 3 participants. Get your guesses in. I'm going to end it in like 30 seconds. Got 4. Okay, 10 seconds. We got 5 guesses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. And the number $43.20. 43.20, and that means that the winner is Dane. Is who it looks like for me. Congrats, Dane. Congrats. We got to make it worth your while here because you got some shipping to send this thing on. Let's see. Dane, I have a second present for you since you live so far away and you can't partake. Which one do you want, by the way? One of these. This is the Swiss Tech. It's like a flipper with like an Axis lock, and this is the Real Steel Carly. The purple. Great choice. I know that's the one Joe was looking at. But you're also going to get this, because I know you've been wanting one. And you're so far away, and we can include it in the same package. So you will get both of these. All right, you want me to send them to your friend in Texas? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, we'll talk after. Yes, okay. We will do. We will do. Congrats. Dane, awesome that you have these coming your way. And thank you guys for watching. Great to catch up. I know we didn't get a big crowd. It was late at night. It's kind of what happens. Hope you guys had some fun. Glad Joe was able to get some entertainment in while he's pulling a... what's that movie where the guy sits on the telescope watching his neighbors? That one. You're doing that, Joe. Have I heard of Blessed Knives? I have heard of Blessed Knives. I have not tried them out. I would love to try them out. Yeah, The Simpsons did an episode of it where Bart was like in a cast and thought, what was it, Flanders was going to murder someone, I think. Been a while. Have a great night, guys. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure, and great to just see everyone again. Thanks so much. Bye.